AIT Studios in Abuja, Nigeria. This is the O&M Sunday Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamode Akuga.
Welcome to your Sunday Show, the O&M Sunday Show. I am Obiora Ilo. Mamode is not here today. He'll be here on Tuesday. Well, we are reaching you on a day that the political landscape is still very promising. Meetings and meetings here and there. Top of these meetings is the one we hear was held between the president and a former president, President Olusegun Obasanjo. There's a lot of speculations in the papers about what they may have discussed, issues that may have come up, and all that. Well, for us, we just hope that all these meetings are geared towards moving Nigeria forward. And it's also important to talk about the anti-corruption crusade. Well, APC is saying that without tangible results, the EFCC will not go after Tinubu and Governor Amechi. Well, I think I agree substantially with that. If you have any evidence against any public officer, it's not just enough to go on the internet, talk about it, make a lot of claims without substantiating them. If anyone has anything against these men, I think it's proper that they do the proper thing, come with the evidence, go to the authorities concerned, and I'm sure that, like the president has assured every Nigerian, this anti-corruption war will not know party, friends, family, or whoever. It will not be a respect of anybody. So APC is saying that without tangible evidence, EFCC will not go after some of its officers or members of its party. Well, the anti-corruption war is continuing. Arrests here and there. But what we continue to say is that we want a new EFCC. We don't want the kind of EFCC that we've had all these years that would prosecute about 100 people and maybe conclude 1 or 2 cases after so many years. You know, Nigerians are yearning for action. Some of these cases have dragged for so long that many Nigerians are wondering whether, if and when a verdict comes, whether those involved will be actually paying for their crimes. As much as we say that, we also say that those at EFCC, when they go after other people that have committed offenses, please let due process be followed. We don't want any, as they used to say in 1 or 2 administrations ago, that EFCC will go after political opponents of those in power. I think that, and we hope that this time they will be doing the right thing. Well, today on our program, we'll be focusing on visitors that were in Nigeria not too long ago. Just after the president returned from his visit to the United States, as a follow-up to the success of that improved relationship between Nigeria and the United States, a congressional delegation arrived in Nigeria, I think a few days after the president returned from that visit. The congressional delegation held meetings with a cross-section of Nigerians, including meeting the president and meeting some other political heavyweights in the country. Today, we'll be looking at that visit. And one regular face on our program, the man we call EJ, was the only congressman, at least as much as I know, in the lower house, who was part of that delegation, not just because he's a congressman in Nigeria today, but because he has a long-standing relationship with the Congress in the United States. He has played a lot of role in the relationship between the Congress in the United States and the Congress in Nigeria. So we'll be talking with him and reviewing that visit and looking at the impact of it, looking at the fallout of it, and looking at the future of such relationships and what it can do for Nigerians and Nigeria. And if we have some more time, we'll be talking to that Nollywood great, Ram Senoa. He will be here in a moment. All this when we return. Don't go away.
Every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around.
Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you. How many predictions have been thrown at you your whole life? If you believe predictions that do not empower you, you will wither away and die. Either physically die or your spirit will die as you just walk around the world like a carcass that is just following the masses. You will be given a lot of titles in your life. You will be told so many different things. You must only listen to that which empowers you.
And see, it's not important how long you live. What's important is how you live.
The first thing I believe you got to do to turn yourself around is really take control of your mind. Or specifically, you got to feed and strengthen the mind.
Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes. So the person who's never made a mistake hasn't done anything. If you're going to make some mistakes if you want to do something out here, you're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. It goes with the territory. But it's okay.
Take charge of your own life, then walk away from the 95%. Don't go where they go. Don't do what they do. Don't talk like they talk. Develop you a whole new language. Don't use their vocabulary. Don't use their excuses. Once you look back on it, you will never turn back. You'll never go back to the old ways and the old language and the old neglect. Never.
Yes, this is your Sunday show, the O&M Late Show. And I did say when we started that immediately after the president's visit to the United States, we had a delegation of Congress of the United States visiting Nigeria. They were here for a couple of days, visited with the president and political leaders in our country. The relationship between the American Congress and the people of Nigeria dates back. And today we'll be looking at the impact of that visit, looking at the history of that relationship, and then looking at the future of the relationship and what it may portend for Nigeria's development. And joining me is Honorable AGBONNAYINMA, a regular face on the O&M late afternoon Sunday show, or rather the O&M shows.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome, EJ.
Yeah.
Of course, you're at home.
Thank you. Thank you, our viewers.
And before we talk about our visitors, how is the House of Reps? You know, while we had all this wahala, so to say, you were always here to talk about it. How is the House of Reps?
There's nothing to talk about anymore. I think what is happening now is positive, and I want to appreciate all the members, coming together to be able to put Nigerians first in our deliberation. The leadership, both the majority leader, minority leader, and the Speaker of the House, and the entire members. I think today we are resolute, resolved for one common purpose, and that is having at the back of our mind that we were elected to represent our people, to represent the good people of this country. I think that is what we owe to them, and we have to be accountable to them. And I think anything outside that will not be accepted. So we are very, very committed, and as you can see, there's nothing negative to speak about the National Assembly, that right now we want to come together to make sure that Nigerians feel the impact of good governance.
One of the major things in the last week was the adoption of the legislative agenda.
Yes.
What is it about, and what does it promise Nigerians?
In the corpuses, a lot. The legislative agenda really dealt with a lot of issues that that Nigerians, as a matter of fact, regardless of your political affiliation, we be part of. Those that we appreciate. I think being put together by the speaker, and I think a lot of us were able to at least to articulate and also to bring to bear some of the areas, and we think we can improve or even to work harder on. And a lot of us were able to take that. And I think it was a very welcome development, and we're in a step in the right direction. Looking at the legislative agenda that presented by the speaker, for me, I'm excited about it, and I'm ready. We're all together. We can move this country forward, and I believe it is possible, it is doable, if we are all committed. And I believe that a lot of commitment are coming from both the members, both PDP, APC. This is not about party, this is about we collectively to defend the people of this country. Okay,
a lot of Nigerians are a little worried whether this House, this 8th Assembly, has the capacity, to take this as far as it can go. I mean, that's because that is because this is not the first time a new House is telling us this is our agenda, this is our thrust, this is where we're going. But after maybe a couple of months, nobody's talking about it anymore. How can Nigerians rest assured that this won't be another talk shop?
Well, I've often said that, we Nigerians, we like to criticize, and, we're always good at that. But let's be factual here. That what is on the table today, let me go back to the legislative agenda, and at the end of the day, Nigeria will be proud of that. And the 8th session, I think we are very resolute. What has happened in the past is an issue that will be dealt with, and I don't want to go back there. I want to move forward. I want to be focused. I don't want to miss the 8 ball, because I was elected by my people, the good people of Ego, Bubaka Federal Constituency, Edo State, to represent them effectively, constructively, and not play partisan politics. We must be able to cut across the aisle, leaving outside the box, being able to relate and dialogue with others. That is how you can come together to reach an agreement. But I must tell you one thing, that the 8th session will be a session that Nigerians will be proud of. I'm not just saying it because I'm a member. I know what I'm thinking of, what I'm doing. They say people fail to plan. You don't plan to fail. All the gray areas, things that have been able to, bring together within myself and reaching out to American Congress, and even some of the leaders, past member of the House, past leaders, meeting them, relating with them, not only people from South, the northern part of Nigeria, the eastern part, the west. So because we are all one Nigeria. So for us to be able to achieve a lot, we must be able to reason, just try to think, outside the box. What can we do to make a difference at this particular time? Because Nigerians are yearning for good things to come. And the era where you begin to point fingers at others when the other four is pointing at you. I think the late President of America, J.F. Kennedy, said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can individually, collectively, can do for your country, your state, your local government, your constituency. You own it, So if you are given an opportunity you must do whatever you can to bring positive, I mean something that people can see on ground, not speculation. I think these 8 sessions are ready, willing, able to bring that to reality. So I am very optimistic.
Okay, EJ, just before we go into the reason and the focus of today's program, one more question for you. The PDP is boiling again. Now we hear the staff is rising against the NWC and members of the executive committee of the PDP. Is the House just sitting down and watching until so much damage is done to the party? Because I know that not too long ago in this program, you said something about, a new PDP, re-energizing the PDP, redefining the PDP. But we just see like a slide. It keeps, something keeps happening that's dragging the party and depleting its capacity to be a very strong opposition.
Well, I'm not going to hold brief for for PDP, but I'm a member, a strong member of PDP, and I'm happy to be a member. But I must tell you, there's no political party all over the world that you will not see anything, maybe misunderstanding or maybe fusion here and there. The ability to curtail it and bring it to end and being able to move forward, that's what is important. In any situation, there's bound to have some problem. But look at the solution in order to resolve that problem. So identify the solution. The moment you're able to identify the solution, then everything will be okay. But I just believe this is another test, another challenge, and I believe it will make us stronger. And again, if you look at really what is happening, that is politics at its best. It's democracy at playing. So I think people have the right to voice their opinion. And, at least let the people decide, what happened. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, I will say that in the court of law, until proven guilty, you are an innocent. But unfortunately, we also have the people's court. In the people's court, you are charged as guilty. Immediately, you are, you are mentioning anything at all. So I'm saying that PDP, come to stay, and this is just another, test that. We overcome it. Life goes on. That is life. Like APC just finished their own. So, so it's always happening. Something has to be happening for...
Are the parties taking turns to address their problems?
Everybody has problems. Just the ability to be able to handle your problem. So we will handle it. This is just minor issue here. That is not... But what is important now, let's put Nigerians, let's put Nigeria at our front burner. Let's be serious, because this issue of distraction, I think we need to be focused so that Nigerians can feel governance. Because look, it's about time we get it right.
Okay, the U.S. congressional delegation was in Nigeria not too long ago, and you've been a part of that visit and even such visits before now. Tell us about visits like this. What is it all about?
Well,
because for a lot of people, if you want action, just go and see Obama, and Obama and the executive in the U.S. will make it happen. And they're wondering, what are we doing with this congressman?
I'm happy to tell you that, look, United States government have played a very, very serious role in trying to help Nigeria, democratic, doctrine. And again and again, very well, America have been practicing democracy for years. And it's like when you have problem with your vehicle, who do you go to? You go to a mechanic, or somebody is sick, you go to the doctor. So if you have political problem, talking about democracy per se, who do you go to? You should go to America, because they have been there. So they understand the specs. So what is there is that, for me, yes, I lived there, but I was able to engage myself, familiarize myself with the system of governance. And apart from just being on the side, but You have to be involved to know the nitty-gritty, to know exactly what is going on. At the time, I registered to be a lobbyist. You know, I was there. Then I was able to see how things are done. So today, and I believe being able to now sit in the House, elected by the people, representing the good people of Igbo, I think I owe it to them to tap on those experiences and the opportunity that is available there to bring it down here. And the other part of the world have been able to do that. I can tell you today, in the history of Africa, no African country have been able to be a member of CMO, that is called Congressional, Nigerian Caucus, U.S. Congressional Nigerian Caucus. And today we are now a member of CMO, Congressional Members Organization of United States Congress. It has never happened. And this came to BL last year when I initiated, and I reached out to some of the congressmen and women. Look, I would like you all to, look at this way. Nigeria is a great nation. To partner with Nigeria. That's how other countries, is doing. Being able, like Great Britain, Germany, they're all doing the same thing. They are all member of CMO, that's Congressional Members Organization. So, and at the end of the day, it was tough, but thank God that this wonderful woman that have done so much for Nigeria. I could remember during President Obasanjo's era, this was the same woman who single-handedly fought for the debt relief of Nigeria at United States Congress. That is Congresswoman Sheila Jasili. I approached her and other congressmen, and especially one of them that is no longer a congressman now, Congressman Steve Stockman of Texas. He is a Republican. He was the co-chair with Congresswoman Sheila Jasili because she's a Democrat. You have to be a bipartisan organ, Republican and Democrat. At the end of the day, it was approved by the United States Congress. That is, today we now have U.S. Congressional Nigerian Caucus at the floor of the United States Congress. So that is just to tell you that, they say, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I did that to put Nigeria first. What do we benefit from that? A lot, enormous. Have been able to foster, relationship, cooperation between Nigeria and America, bringing dividends of democracy. America have given so much assistance, support to this country. They have done a lot. I wish we Nigerians can do even to support our own country, the way other part of the world are giving so much support to us. So today you see them coming here. It is a blessing that, Nigeria is moving forward. We are moving towards the right direction. I believe, and I still believe, I have that faith that Nigeria will become a nation that we will all be proud of. But it's going to require and involve every Nigerian because we all have a role to play. President Buhari cannot solve the problem of Nigeria alone. You and I have a role to play to make this place enabling environment for us to be able to say, yes, we have a good country. Because if you don't value Nigeria, if you don't value what you have, I've often said it, somebody else will help you devalue it. So I want to say that we all value Nigeria. How do we not make sure that Nigeria is a better place for all of us to live? So their coming here is also to bring, an applause. Not only coming here, in support. They were able to meet with all the service chiefs. We had a closed-door meeting with Mr. President. The delegation was led by, Congressman, Daryl Issa. Daryl Issa is the richest congressman at the United States Congress. Despite all the money, he's a billionaire, but he loved to serve the people. Serving the people is his #1 agenda. Because, yes, he has all the money, he has everything. What can I do? I said, let me go and start serving the people. So let everybody begin to have that at the back of their mind. It's not about you. Don't be selfish. Be selflessness so that you not put the people first that you are coming here to serve. So I think I am happy that today we now have Nigerian, that is U.S. Congressional Nigerian Caucus at the United States Congress.
What is the significance of this membership? And who should be? Is it the Nigerian Congress as it is? You know, is it a Congress to Congress relationship, or is it individual congressman to individual congressman relationship?
See, let me tell you something, you know, in America, don't forget that, you know, the president, before any budget is approved, you know, if it is not approved by the Congress, nothing happens. Everything that have to, you know, take place, the Congress have to be the one who approved it. The same thing here. So I'm telling you that if the President Obama wants to assist Nigeria today, and if the Congress are saying no, nothing happens. So the backing of the congressmen and women in support of Obama helping Nigeria it will be a win-win situation for every one of us. So what is important is that the U.S. Congress members, they are willing and ready to assist, to support Nigeria. Having congressional Nigerian caucus at U.S. Congress is not to have those members of United States Congress who have the feeling, the passion, the interest of Nigeria at heart, who are driving, who want to at least to promote our image, talking about Nigeria positively. Most of the time over the years, you see one person, one Nigerian commit a crime in America, you will see how they stigmatize that like all Nigerians are no good, that which is wrong. But you can see a lot of American committed crime, Chinese or Indian committed crime, nobody talks about it because they have their own ways of reaching out, having a good public relationship. So you must have your people at the House or United States Congress so that they begin to speak our mind, you know, begin to talk on our behalf, do things that will impact the lives of the people of Nigeria, not apart from the Nigerian Americans, also Nigeria, you know, as a country. So what is obtainable is enormous, you know, and I can't begin to tell you there is a lot of benefit that we will benefit from it in terms of grants, in terms of training, you know, helping Nigeria to succeed. Not only that, we now have a way where even Nigeria, you know, National Assembly can also partner with the United States Congress. So when you look at what has happened in the past, unfortunately, it has not been good for our image, where our image has been dented badly. But today, you can see the Congress people who came, the anxiety, they are so excited when they were talking positively. Oh yes, Nigeria is a great country. There's no country that does not have problems. Americans also have their own problems. But nobody, you will never see any American coming to Nigeria to downgrade America, abusing America, insulting America. It's only we Nigerians that will always go abusing Nigeria, saying negative things about your country. And what do you expect other people to do? You must at least make sure that your country, the reputation, the name is carried very high so that other people will appreciate it. So there's no perfection in humanity. No country is perfect. Nigeria is not different, but we are better, far, far better than most other nations.
Okay, let's talk about the visit proper. You said they had audience with the service chiefs. They had audience with the president.
I had a closed-door meeting. We had a closed-door meeting with the president. The meeting was very successful, and the issue of that was discussed. Of course, you know, I will not be in a position to start giving you details about all that was discussed. But what I can tell you that the president is very committed, and the U.S. Congress members, you know, they are very committed in making sure that, you know, this government succeed and Nigeria are in the right direction, especially helping to fight the insurgency, the Boko Haram. That was one of the number one priority, you know, in the table. That how do we now join hands? Because it's not a Nigerian problem alone; it's a international problem now. Being able to support them in terms of bringing them some, you know, ammunitions, some weapons. Now being able to talk about giving Nigeria a free hand to be able to, you know, purchase arms and all that. It is a legal act, and at the same time to talk about the human right violation how do we now do whatever it takes to make sure that, the military and they do what is right, and at the end of the day, things are moving in the right direction. And talking about the Chibok girls, and they also spoke about that. The Congresswoman Sheila Jasile and Congresswoman Frederica Winston, they were very passionate about the Chibok girls. But what is important is that, the Boko Haram, what is happening in the north, somebody in the south should feel the pain. What is happening in the east, somebody in the west should feel the pain if we are one Nigeria. So we must come together collectively to make Nigeria a better place. So they are coming for us, for me, and for everyone out there, is to tell you that it's a very welcome development, that we bring good things, that will make Nigeria, a proud nation, that other nations will begin to see us as a nation that is moving towards the right direction.
Okay, we'll take a break. When we return, we'll talk more about that visit. Don't go away.
Nigeria's biggest late night show.
I think the government is doing its best.
Buhari himself is an issue. Just as the Buhari organization has made Goodluck Jonathan an issue.
We have laws, we have institutions set up to fight corruption.
Advocacy for the Chibok girls is born out of what they symbolize.
The average Nigerian wants to know, what do you have for him?
Fanika Yode was with us for a while.
What happened?
I think he came on a journey and discovered that we are too transparent for him.
A banking license was cancelled in one day, and a license was cancelled in one day.
When I was retrenched, it became worse. Sometimes to even find food to give to the children was hell.
Don't tell us you want a nation that will be the most powerful black nation on the earth. We all want it. How are we going to get it?
O&M Late Show and O&M Sunday Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamudia Koga. Tuesdays, Fridays, 11 p.m. and on Sunday, 2 p.m.
Yeah, you're still watching the O&M Sunday Show. EJ, you've talked so much about the gains of this visit by the U.S. Congress, a delegation of the U.S. Congress led by Representative Darrell Issa. And of course, in that delegation, we have a very ranking Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
Yes.
Of course, we also had Representative Blake Farenthold, and of course, Frederica Wilson.
Yeah.
How, on the part of those of you in the Nigerian Congress, how can you ensure that we can leverage on this relationship? How can you ensure that it's not a one-off thing, that we engage them properly? Because you talked about lobbying. And I know that all over the world, especially when it comes to do with the American Congress, you need voices within and voices on the corridors, talking about your own individual problem, because there are so many problems, coming to the U.S. Congress. So how do we ensure that we leverage on this relationship we have with these Congress men and women from the United States?
Well, like you rightly said, that we don't have the voice. We have to now leverage on those voices or those wonderful members of the United States Congress. Not only those who are members of the Congressional Nigerian Caucus, there are many of them who are members by law. What is important here is that we have, the wonderful, leaders of the House of Rep 8th session, and we have a good speaker, and we have a good minority leader, Leo Ogo, and the majority leader, Femi Gbajabiamila, and the speaker. He's very committed to see how we can leverage seriously on the gain, and I think at the end of the day, we will be happy that, we're able to, engage ourselves with the U.S. Congress. Because for us to succeed, we must be able to tap from their knowledge, talking about the e-voting that we have here, those are things, we can tap to know how and the modality, how to get it right, the way things are done. Right now, you can see that some of our House members have gone to US for some training. I think the more we do that, the more that will give us some opportunity to know more how to legislate, not just only making noise, that other people have done, but this time we want to get it right, to make sure we tap from their knowledge and engage them the area they can help us. And I think the area they want to help us are just too enormous to start listing. But what is important is that even the agricultural sector, which they have often said, because when you are making a budget, you are making a budget in America, here, we make budget here. They make budget there too. But the budget that they made to support various African countries, especially Nigeria, which is my interest, look, I want to see how much they can support Nigeria. Nigeria's interest is very paramount. And that is the key, because they said if Nigeria fail, that means there'll be a problem in Africa. So they want Nigeria to succeed, because as the most populous nation in Africa, so they want Nigeria to be up there, so that other countries will follow suit. And what is there now is just for us to, I know we are planning, we will plan to visit, to see, because they have also sent invitation, for us to visit the Congress, also to meet with the Speaker, and to meet with the leadership of the United States Congress. So we are going to pull all those things together, and I believe, at the end of the day, we're able to tap and have a lot of opportunity, to benefit from being a friend of the United States Congress, not just only the presidency, there's Obama to Buhari, but at the same time, speaker to speaker relationship.
Members to members.
Members to members relationship.
EJ, thank you.
Thank you very much.
As usual, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And we wish you all the luck in this project.
Thank you. Thank you.
When we return, I did tell you at the beginning of the show that something is happening in Abuja. I don't know how many of us have read the book or watched the play, Our Husband Has Gone Mad Again by Olarotimi. Well, that play is showing in Abuja right now. And you have a team of very accomplished Nigerian actors and actresses. I did say that Ransin Noah was leading them. They were going to be here. But I'm very excited to tell you that Anne NJEMANZE is here with us. She'll be joining me in a moment.
Akuga, for almost 3 decades, have been involved in broadcast journalism, with the better part of that time in the gathering and production of news and news programs. I'm proud to have pioneered weekday morning news talk show on Nigerian television, first with AM TV Live on DBN television, and later with Kakaki on AIT.
I am Obiora Ilo. Over 30 years ago, I started my career at Radio Nigeria. Over these long years, I've presented several programs and interviewed hundreds of guests, men and women, the big stars and the not well known, the rich and the poor, politicians, movie stars, journalists, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as they say. You just name them. I've also covered events across the world, from Europe to America, from Asia and back to Africa, bringing first-class reports.
Now, together with Obiora, I will be coming to your screens 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, with the O&M Late Show.
From 6th January 2015, Mamode and I will be bringing our decades of experience to bear on our new talk show, the O&M Late Show.
In our careers, we have blazed many trails, and we are thrilled and ready to set new records with nighttime television. The O&M Late Show,
your late night catch-up.
You're watching the O&M Sunday Show. Well, I'm on the sofa, but here is not usually where I sit. But today I have 2 guests. I think for the first time on the show, we're having 2 guests coming on at the same time. I did talk about Our Husband Has Gone Mad Again by Olarotimi. I remember in school watching this play and watching it. But, you know, some accomplished actors and actresses in Nigeria are bringing this play to Abuja for the first time. And my pleasure to welcome AGOZIE UGWU is directing that play. And that face we got used to so early in Nollywood, still in Nollywood, and NJEMANZE that are joining me right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And you're welcome.
Thank you.
And it's so nice to see you again.
Thank you.
I know I see you on there's this show on Teen Cell, yes. What are you investigating right now in Teen Cell?
In Teen Cell. Still trying to catch the criminals.
But so invasive. You try and you never.
We keep trying. It's their part to keep being evasive. It's our part to keep working, be on our toes.
Oh yes. Nice to see you again, you know, after your accident and all that. It's so nice to know that you're still doing well. Welcome to the show. Well, I still hope that one of these days we're going to talk about Anne, just Anne, you know, and we won't be distracted by anything else. Okay. Our husband has gone mad again. AGOZIE, why are we doing this play? Of all the plays in the world, why are we bringing this play to Abuja?
Okay, you know, the play itself is one of the classic works of one of the most prolific Nigerian writer, Olarotimi. And it's a comedy, and we felt that at a point like this in the country, where it was a tough time during the election, the tension and all that it will be apt if we bring something comic to just ease some of this tension. You know, theater has a therapeutic effect, and when it's commingled with comedy, its effects become more the sublime. So that is why we bring this play that focuses on the battle of the sexes. You know, how the male and the female folk should be able to negotiate their way through a family unit and still elsewhere at the end of the day.
Oh, great. And I know that a lot of you, you know, you've done so much on the screen. I mean, it's not always we see people like you on the stage. Why do you like being part of you know, stage plays like this? Because I know this is not the first time.
Oh, definitely.
It's not the first time. I know it's a circuit you're familiar with.
Yes, but well, this is my orientation. This is how I started. I started from the stage. This is how I went to school, and so for me, it's not anything that comes in as strange. You see, the stage was before Nollywood came along, so it's always a refreshing experience for me anytime I have to do it. And my work is such that has to put me on stage all of the time. So it's, you know, nice, a good experience all the way.
You know, as an actress, it's not every script that comes your way that you say yes to. So why are you saying yes to this one?
Oh, because first of all, maybe I have something of a feminist in me. And I happen to be one of the people who believe that men and women are created equal, seriously. That there's nothing that there's no opportunity open to a man that shouldn't also come the way of a woman, especially in politics. So I guess, yes, why not? And it's the second time around we're doing it with him, so I would love to play it over and over again.
The first time it was a good experience, so you're doing
awesome,
it again.
wonderful, but not in Abuja, in Lagos.
Okay, let me come to you. It is not easy, you know, putting together these plays. It's easy for me maybe later today to come and sit back and just enjoy watching, see Anne, see Ramsey, see all of them. But a whole lot goes into it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. And I've heard directors and producers talk about the challenges of getting sponsors, of getting support, of getting even loans to be able to put out a good show. Tell me about it, AGOZIE.
Now, you see, I think one of the reasons why theater seems as if it's dwindling in Nigeria is the issue of financing theater. Okay, I could say that it's even more consuming that the film making sometimes. All right, now you come for rehearsals. That is artistic part of it. It's a problem. It's a play full of crowd. To coordinate human beings is one of the most difficult things you can deal with. But nevertheless, I have a very wonderful crew, very professional. So relatively, they made the work very easy for me. And for one thing, is very professional. Ramsey Noah is on this production. Ramsey Noah is a pro to the core. Then every other guy, T.Y. James, Patrick Jabwa, established stage and screen actors from Lagos, they were committed to the cause. We got it there. Now, in terms of logistics and organization, it was coordinated from Lagos to Abuja. You know, it was hectic. But we do this because of the love of art. We do this because we want to revive, reignite the theater orientation. I was told that this is the first time Abuja will experience live theater like this in this such a big way, and we're happy to be part of it, to be pace setters. Okay, and by the grace of God, next month we are coming back with the wives, you know, again. So our aim is to revive. Apparently, the art creates these days more job opportunities for young people.
Yes, yes.
So we as young people will leverage on the efficacy of art, you know, and in terms of its difficulty creating it, it's our cause, our most amount it. Then we call on corporate world to encourage us, you know, what we have is something you should go for. People that came yesterday, they were all screaming. You know, we had a full house yesterday. When the show ended, it was applause. They clapped and they refused to go.
Yeah.
You know, because it's comedy redefined. I know Larotimi, it has a way of making you laugh and laugh and laugh. So it's not film all the time, cinema. There are a variety types of art, and this is one of them. All right, so it's difficult to organize it, but we must do it.
Okay, where is this show that people want to go home? Where is it taking place?
All right, it's at the Sheraton Hotels Abuja. It's Ladekwale Conference Center. That's where we're doing the show, and it's an ambience. It's a very wonderful place to be, and if you the set alone, it's breathtaking. You know, the environment, everything. It's 2 shows per day, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Yesterday we had the 2 shows. Today again we'll end the show today, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Okay, so once we leave here, we are there. The set is raving. We are standing by. The lights is on. Everything is waiting for action. Waiting for the guys to get stage, and we roll.
Okay, and let me come to you. You know, a lot of cities across the world, if you go to New York, if you go to cities in Canada, if you go to cities in Rome, I mean, if you go to Rome, the stage is big, you know. Even in the United States, if you're just a screen actor and you never had opportunity of being on stage, it's like on Broadway.
Yes.
It's like you're missing something.
Yes, actually.
Of course.
Why are we a little laid back in Nigeria? Why are we not doing much of this stage thing? Because I hear that's where professionalism is actually exhibited. That with the big screen and all that, you know, you take first take, there's a mistake, you got to return. But on stage, you don't have that luxury.
Yes. Anyone who is an actor anywhere in the world would feel proud to climb the stage, because that's where you actually cut your teeth. It instills in you a sort of discipline where you respect the art that you are in. It's not unlike the TV. It's not a way of escape when there's no job, or I could run in here and just find myself doing something. No, you have to know the nitty-gritty of it before you're in it. So that's why we take the pains to even go to study it, become masters in it, just to be sure that it's put out right. Yes. And again, back in the old days, way before you and I thought of coming to the world, if it was up to us to come to the world, you know, we had our theaters in the villages. That's how things were related to us. So these things were live. You see the people face to face. You relate to each other, storytelling and the likes. So these things come to play then. So I'll make bold to say that the stage gave birth to the TV, the screen as we know it today. Yes, but then, well, like technology will always modify things and make it easier. This is not a layman's thing. It's not something you just dabble into. It's serious business, and it's a place where you can actually prove who it is that you are in your field, in your art as an actor.
I want to say something about that. You see, the proscenium arc in the theater is what gives impetus to the screen productions. But in Nigeria, I think one of the greatest artists, theater or actor or wherever in Nigeria, is one certain Yoruba man called Hobart Ogunde. You see, in those days, he made so much money. He made so much fame. You know, he did Strike and Hunger in Jaws. You know, he did several theater productions during his time.
Yes.
But afterwards, it appears that it was dwindling, it was dying down. You know, theater pays more in Western world than in Africa here. You pay more money to go to Broadway than to go to cinema.
To go cinema, yeah.
Now, because what theater offers is an immediacy. There is magic in theater. You know, it's an experience.
Of the moment.
Of the moment. It consumes you. You know, so it is not comedy when you stand and make people laugh. No, theater takes you into a world. If you say the effects and all that, it creates an illusion that is reality. Okay,
illusion
that
is
is
reality.
That is reality,
illusion
yes.
of
So
reality.
you're looking, you're actually saying you can always touch
illusion
what
of
it is you're
reality.
saying.
Okay, illusion of reality, and that way, it's being used as a veritable tool to stimulate change in the society. So what do we do as theater artists? We've studied this up to PhD. What are we doing here? We're trying to use the efficacy of our art to make impact, to create change in the society. I did a show in Lagos. Hangman also died. People were crying. People wept when they saw what I was showing them about our society. They cried. And apparently, for some time, they might, you know, try to change if they are involved in such vice.
It is. It's actually a tool of education. It is.
You know, how I wished we had some shots of what happened yesterday. But wherever you are in Abuja, man, I think the place to be is at Sheraton. Let's unwind, you know, and see the rich culture of the Nigerian, because you know, we have a lot of it, and I think that the stage is a good way to exhibit it. But before you leave, of course, I hope I'm getting a ticket to be there tonight.
Apparently, yeah.
And, some of my crew, we are getting tickets to be there, because from what you're saying, I can't wait.
It'll be an experience.
And are we going to see more of you?
Because
it looks like we're looking for you. It looks like I still remember the little girl in what's that film again?
Rattlesnake, is it?
Rattlesnake, even before
Domitila. No.
Domitila. The young woman.
That was
pretty
20,
black
20,
beauty,
yeah, 20,
you know, and suddenly we can't see Anne again except
no, wait,
Hotel Majestic.
We are lucky that
Hotel Majestic. Well, you have to know what it is you put your face to. That's true. And again, I have an everyday job with the National Troupe of Nigeria.
Oh, you do?
So you see, you have to be very careful how it is you put out your face. It shouldn't be cheap. It shouldn't be just everywhere because you want to make money. No, there's more to life than that.
Yeah, you see, Abuja will see more of Anne because we are coming back to Abuja in September with the wives.
It's okay. It's okay. I must say thank you to you guys for being here. I have a little gift, you know, so you keep it on your table. Tell them in Lagos you were in Abuja and you were on the O&M show.
Yes.
You were on the O&M show.
Oh, this is nice.
Thank you.
And that's our package for today. Don't forget, we are back Tuesday night at 11. I'm Obiora Ilo from Abuja, Nigeria. Mamode will be joining me on Tuesday. Bye.